Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Season 4 of Royal Clan in ClanGen. When we left off, Royal Clan grieved the loss of Cinnamon Tail, their sorrow overshadowing hunger and hardship. Though Ghostfeather was annoyed, Flare Freckles' tender care and Bone Beetle's tears showed their profound grief. The clan shed memories and paid tribute to Cinnamon Tail's spirit as they laid him to rest. It is now Moon 202, in the second turn of Leaf Bear. Let's see what happens next. Okay, we're diving into the main events. Let's see what's going on, how the clan might be coping after Cinnamon Tail's death, and what new struggles they might potentially have. Royal Clan does not have enough healthy medicine cats. Cats will be sick/hurt for longer and have a higher chance of dying. Not great. Royal Clan doesn't have enough prey for the next moon. Also not great. However, the cats of both Storm Clan and Royal Clan have come to a realization that war isn't the best solution, deciding to end it now. Which is nice. I think we've only been at war with them for like 3 or 4 moons. Royal Clan finds Marshmallow behind some sort of sheet of clear, unmeltable ice, barricading him inside a 2-leg nest. It's impossible to carry a conversation from outside. And you guys might be wondering who Marshmallow is. Well, it seems as though one of our servant clan cats, who King Foxstar has made up his mind to bring into the grotto, went back to his 2-leg nest and was kind of trapped in there. And obviously the cats, they could not get him to, join the royals, so he could not elevate him to nobility because he wasn't in a state to be talking to them. But I think Foxstar is gonna try and be as persistent as possible. But I do feel like for Hazel Slip, this kind of means that she has a little bit of reprieve because it didn't work out this time around. Let's see what's going on in the medicine cat den. So we have no hurt or sick cats, thankfully, in the den. Out of the den, we have a few things going on. Burnline is recovering from birth. Bone Beetle and Flare Freckle are grief-stricken. Ghostfeather has his sprain. Nothing minor, thankfully. In terms of our log, Flare Freckle was given thyme as treatment for grief-stricken. Ghostfeather was given dandelion as treatment for sprain. Burnline was given oak leaves as treatment for recovering from birth. And Bone Beetle was given thyme as treatment for grief-stricken. Now let's settle in for part 3 of our clan's story. In the quiet of midwinter, the royal grotto was cloaked in a cold, somber silence. Prey remained scarce, and the few cats still strong enough to hunt searched desperately for food, their bellies empty and hopes dim. The clan's health was declining. Without a healthy royal physician, injuries and sicknesses lingered longer, threatening their survival. The absence of a dedicated healer had taken a toll. Cats with broken paws, fevers, or wounds waited painfully for aid that rarely came. Burnlion and Fiercetooth, both exhausted, watched over their kin, knowing that each day their clan faced a higher risk of losing more warriors to the harsh winter and their own weakened bodies. Meanwhile, a surprising shift had begun among Storm Clan and Royal Clan. After the recent gatherings and shared stories, cats from both sides had begun to see beyond old rivalries. Whispers grew into talks, and finally a collective decision emerged. War was no longer the answer. They recognized that endless conflict only deepened their suffering and hindered their chances of survival through winter. In the heart of the grotto, King Foxstar and Storm Clan's leader met, each wary yet resolute. They agreed to end hostilities, to focus on surviving the season together, and to seek peace for the future. The cats shared a cautious hope, understanding that their unity might be the only way to endure the cold months ahead. As the clans dispersed, a sense of relief was palpable. Stories of their shared resolve floated among the cats, reminding them that sometimes the greatest strength lay in choosing peace over war, especially when survival depended on coming together. And so, amid the winter's bleakness, a fragile hope blossomed, one that promised a new beginning. On to our cat list, and I have to say, I really like the idea of King Foxstar and basically his family, which is making up the political circle in the grotto, taking care of a lot of things, handling the stresses and, situations that are happening within the clan. They are the ones who should be stressing about surviving Leafbear, and they are the ones stressing about surviving Leafbear. I mean, Fiercetooth, she's now a role advisor, but she was kind of in there helping Burn Lion with taking care of, the sick and injured cats, while Foxstar was trying to deal with negotiations. I really like that. Now, Hazelslip, even though she is a matchmaker and she's part of this, at this point, I feel dynastic family that is basically holding all the power of the clan, I think she would be trying to get her family members to focus more on, oh yes, negotiations, oh yes, we have sicknesses and injuries to worry about, rather than Marshmallow, the servant chosen by her father to be elevated to nobility. She's like, rather than focusing on that, let's just make that a footnote, let's just brush it aside and focus on these big problems that we already have in the clan. I personally don't feel like she is going to want to be rushed into this. I mean, she is confident, which is great, but I do feel as though she's someone who doesn't want to rush into any of that. In fact, she has changed traits. She used to be adventurous, and now she is confident. Interesting. We're gonna make a note of this, I feel like. Confidence. So she was adventurous. I realized that she's an adult now, so I could probably put that trait in a new age bracket, but I feel like adult onwards, I don't want any more traits than that, or any more categories than that, age categories. But yeah, the fact that she went from being adventurous to confident. You know what? I'm wondering if Hazelslip is starting to see her place in the clan as more solid, and she's starting to see purpose for herself. Before, it might have been in going out and adventuring, and she did sneak out to say, I think, goodbye to Cinnamon Tail on her own. But I wonder if now, as a matchmaker, she has come to the conclusion that she finds more fulfillment staying within the clan, staying within the Royal Grotto, not having to go out anymore. And she kind of likes doing her part to keep the clan tightly knit. And so she might be going through this phase where she's comfortable being independent, and she's not really wanting to think about family, and she's not wanting to think about a partner, which could be a conflict if her father continues insisting on this match. But that's definitely something fascinating to think about. Definitely. Burn Lion has become fierce. She was bloodthirsty. She's become fierce. Oh, this is fascinating. I wonder if for Burn Lion, the fierceness is more becoming fiercely protective, because she did recently become a mother. So maybe she's becoming fiercely protective of her kittens. And what about Bone Beetle? Bone Beetle was always sneaky, and she's kind of retained her sneakiness, so nothing has changed with her. Makes sense. I don't think that right now. Yes, she is mourning Cinnamon Tail. They might have been friends, but I don't think she has faced any sort of significant enough life events to suddenly get her to change her personality, or to, have a slightly different personality arc. Okay, well, why don't we see what everyone is doing for the day? So King Foxstar pounced on some movement under the snow like a fox. Fiercetooth almost died of embarrassment after a recent fumble on a patrol. Burnline is reciting the names of herbs aloud. Yeah, I think she's definitely trying to fit into her role. She's still pretty new. I'm sure there was some handover from Fiercetooth to Burnlion. Hazel Slip is strutting around confidently. I think she feels as though she really fits in as a matchmaker. And maybe this way Hazel Slip feels as though she's indicating to her father that it might be a great idea for her to help matchmake between other cats, maybe her younger sister and someone, not necessarily herself. Bone Beetle wants to train. Flare Freckle took a nap in the clearing and woke up under a blanket of snow. Ghost Feather saw some wandering two legs today. Snapdragon had a nice chat with a cat from another clan at the border. I wonder if Snapdragon was talking with a member of Storm Clan, perhaps. Freeze Fur gives the sternest lectures of any Royal Clan cat. And on that note with Snapdragon, because in the story we did see that the cats, I think, met at the border, and then they probably brought the leader of Storm Clan back into the grotto where the agreement was made before they returned, so I can see Snapdragon chatting with one of the other cats. Gold Kit is spending time with Snapdragon. Oh, that's so cute. And Python Kit has taken up the role of guarding the fresh kill pile from cats wanting an extra piece and is taking his job very seriously. Onto our patrols. So we currently have 5 prey and we need 20. It is the worst time to not have food during Leaf Bear. That is the worst time. But like the last moon, we do have our king and advisor who are basically gonna help us hunt, hopefully. So King Foxstar and his mate Fierce Tooth, they're the only ones basically keeping the clan going. Let's see how this goes. But I think King Foxstar, because he is, I'm pretty sure he's sneaky, isn't he? Yeah, because he is sneaky, his focus has always been to sabotage the other clans. So I think it is a very big move for him to be calling peace with Storm Clan. He's not particularly inclined in this direction, but I think he recognizes that we are in the toughest season right now. We have no food. We already have something we're stressing about. They literally don't even have the energy to focus on a war. So let's see how things go. As Fierce Tooth tears through the forest with King Foxstar stretching her legs on a run, she spots movement out of the corner of her eye. Proceed. With a huge leap, Fierce Tooth darts sideways and pulls a black bird out of the air. King Foxstar trots over to congratulate her on the fantastic catch, purring. I'm pretty sure they caught a blackbird in the last episode as well, but a medium amount of prey was brought to camp. So now we have 19.4. That was pretty decent. We still don't have enough for everyone to be entirely full, but it's very, very close. So they're doing an excellent job, considering the fact that our clan is entirely being run by them at this point. But also I think this might be a reason why King Foxstar, despite his daughter's disagreement, is so intent on another match and another litter, because they only have, including our leaders, they have 4 cats, basically Foxstar, Fierce Tooth, Burnline, and Bone Beetle, who have the capacity. Screw that. They only have 3 cats, so King Foxstar, Fierce Tooth, and Bone Beetle, with the capacity to hunt and bring food, considering everyone is in good health. That's literally all they have to feed a clan of 11. And they have, 4 elders here, 2 kittens who can't do much, plus the royal physician who doesn't hunt, and the matchmaker who stays in the grotto all the time. Yeah, they need more cats. They need more royals. Otherwise, they're gonna die out. I didn't realize how dire the situation was until I just counted the cats. I thought Foxstar and Fierce Tooth being the only ones out to hunt was going to be a temporary measure, but I very quickly am realizing that is not the case. And that's all we have for this episode. In the midwinter, Royal Clan struggled with sickness and hunger, lacking a healthy royal physician. Cats from all clans realized war only worsened their suffering, leading them to end hostilities. They united in hope, choosing peace to endure the harsh season, planting the seeds for a better future amid the cold, uncertain winter. With that said and done, I'm going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.